Hello everyone, and welcome to Big Blue News. I'm your host, Nikhil.
And I'm Nick. Let's get right into the news.
Last weekend was massive for the SHS robotics team as they qualified for the New England District Championship for the second time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 potential.
Springfield, and it was from last Wednesday until Saturday. The team gave it their all throughout all the qualification matches, scoring higher than ever. They were able to get 22nd place, which was much higher than their last placing last year. Despite this, they unfortunately did not get drafted for playoffs and World Championships in Texas. However, during one of their matches, they were able to score the world record in points, scoring 271 points with no penalties during qualification match, 72 with Neshoba Robotics and TJ Squared. We congratulate the robotics team on this massive achievement and their amazing season this year, and we wish them all best for the next season in 2026.
On Tuesday, March 28th in Somerville, Massachusetts, Turkish PhD student at Tufts University, Rumeysa Ozturk, was on her way to see her friends for a dinner gathering when she was unexpectedly arrested by 6 officers who were dressed in black. Ozturk was attending Tufts University on a student visa. She was targeted for co-authoring an article in her university's newspaper, the Tufts Daily, where she called for Tufts to acknowledge the Palestinian genocide and move away from companies' ties to Israel because of the conflict. The Trump administration revoked Ozturk's student visa on March 21st, but never notified her before her arrest. Ozturk is being held in the ICE detention facility in Louisiana to this day, but this is just one of the students that this has happened to. To date, over 300 college students have lost their visas and have been ordered to leave over their activism, criminal infractions, or traffic violations. The Trump administration vowed to deport non-citizen pro-Palestine activists and accused of engaging in anti-Semitic or illegal protests. Minnesota State University in Mankato had 5 student visas revoked. Foreign students from Arizona State, Cornell, North Carolina State, the University of Oregon, the University of Texas, and the University of Colorado have all lost their visas, and Columbia graduate Mahound Khalil was detained. Some of these students are trying to leave the country themselves, and others are being detained by immigration authorities. Vaughn Abraham of the Boston Globe writes against the administration. She said, "One thing is clear, the threats to law firms, universities, and students like Ozturk will not stop coming."
This past Saturday, mass protests swept the nation known collectively as hands-off rallies. The protests were in response to the Trump administration's gutting of numerous federal programs, such as the USAID. Bernie Sanders has used the movement to garner support with his fighting oligarchy tour. Another main subject of the rallies was Elon Musk, who, to many on the left, represents an emerging American oligarchy. This is likely one of the many protests that will come with Trump's sweeping reforms. And now we'll bring you to the third and final part of the series, where Adrian Laporte will be interviewing Swampscott Select Board candidate Liz Smith.
Alrighty, we are joined by Liz Smith. Thank you for joining us, Liz.
Thank you, Adrian.
For our first question, I'm going to ask, what connections do you have to the town of Swampscott?
My family moved to Swampscott about 10 years ago. I grew up on the North Shore, and we really wanted to get back here. I love the coast. I love the beaches. I just love the North Shore. We chose Swampscott for the beaches and the schools. We have a daughter who was born in Sri Lanka. She didn't move here full-time until she was 8. She came to middle school in Swampscott when we moved here with significant gaps in language and math skills. And we needed a warm, welcoming environment with really supportive services for English language learning and special ed for her. And we found it here in Swampscott, and we're so glad that we did. And in fact, after a career in business, I went to UMass Amherst, I went to MIT, did a lot of years in business. And after that, I taught in the schools as a substitute, as a Title I math tutor, and as a classroom aide. So my gratitude to the school district, has no bounds. We love it here.
Seems like you're very integrated in the school system here, and I know that's one of the big points of you running.
Yes.
What are your reasons for running? That brings us into our second question.
Adrian, I've worked in the schools, and I've worked on cleaning up the beaches for a number of years. I started attending all the select board meetings, did a lot of advocacy for Kings Beach, and ultimately we got the select board to start paying attention to the pollution issues on our beaches and form a water and sewer infrastructure advisory committee last year. I was appointed to the committee along with 11 other really talented people and was elected chair. And I've been doing that. We've been working hard on a lot of projects. We did the testing at Fisherman's Beach last summer and found that there were more pollution issues there than anyone really realized. That work is started now, the work to fix the pipes that are polluting Fisherman's. And I just felt over the last 6 to 12 months that I wanted to do more. I wanted to give back more. I wanted to have more of a ability to impact what's happening in Swampscott. So that's why I'm running for select board.
Gotcha. That brings us to our final question. What are your thoughts on the select board's recent vote to fully fund the school budget?
I am very grateful to the 4 members of the select board who voted to support the fully funded budget. I have been supporting a fully funded budget for the schools since day one, since I started running. I know that the school committee has worked very hard on their budget and they put it forward in January. So everyone really on the select board had an opportunity to look at it and to review it since January 20th. There's been a couple of meetings, joint meetings with the school committee, the finance committee, and the select board, and the questions should have been asked. The budget that we are looking at now has the highest tax increase in 10 years.
Oh.
The highest tax increase in 10 years. And it still doesn't fully fund the schools. It's got a deficit of about $660,000 to what the schools were looking for. Yeah. If we don't fix that, there will be teacher layoffs, 7 to 8 teachers. There will be cuts in core programs, and I don't think that's right. I think the schools need to be fully funded. I think they've done their part over the years, and it's time now to really make that statement, to work on the budget and figure out how to get them fully funded. There was supposed to be a financial summit last summer after some wrangling at annual town meeting last spring, and the select board promised a financial summit so these issues could start to be worked out months ago. That didn't happen. That's unfortunate. So I'm totally committed to funding the schools.
All righty. That's a great answer. Thank you very much for your time. We're going to take it back to the news desk with Nick.
Thank you.
Swampscott High School recently eliminated class ranking reporter Amelia Burrow checked in with some students to see how they felt about this change.
In 2024, Swampscott High School discontinued class rankings due to concerns for students' mental health. Students have various opinions, some supporting the abolishment and others left with mixed feelings.
If you're at the top, that's great for college applications and great for college overall.
Might be helpful for some people, but like I think for most of the people, it'll be like stressful.
They should and shouldn't be in place.
There's always people like they think they have to do better than someone else, and I feel like they shouldn't have to do that.
I think it's kind of stressful for like people to because no one wants to be in the bottom.
In the end, they're probably for the better, and it's probably good for people who are super smart.
If you're top 20, you should be able to see that. They should send those out. If you're below the top 20, I don't need to see that I'm last in the class.
I would probably compare myself more to other people and try to be better and do better.
I would say it'd make me work a whole lot harder. Go ahead.
Although students have spoken up about their opinions, the class ranking system does not seem to be coming back anytime soon. This is Amelia Burrow reporting for Big Blue News.
Thanks, Amelia, for that story. We now head over to the news desk the sports desk with Alejandro.
The boys lacrosse team played Winthrop at Miller Field on Tuesday. Unfortunately, the final score was 9-5 with Swampscott falling short. The boys start the season 1-3, and they look to bounce back tonight at 7 p.m. away versus Marblehead. The girls lacrosse team played Winthrop on Tuesday with a final score of 17-2 with Swampscott on top. The girls currently have an undefeated record of 4-0. They play Marblehead tonight at 4:30 p.m. at home. The boys baseball team had a very busy week so far, facing up against Linfield last Saturday, April 5th, where they fought a tough game but sadly lost 5-4. On Wednesday, April 9th, they faced Marblehead where they lost. They faced Saugus yesterday with a final score of 4-3 Swampscott. Their current record is 2-2. The team faces Winthrop away at 4 p.m. today. We wish them luck. That's all for sports. Back to you, Nikhilin.
For our upcoming events, we have You're in Town, the musical, on Friday, April 11th at 7 p.m. SHS Science Fair on Tuesday, April 15th from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. In the Swampscott High School cafeteria. April break starts April 18th to April 26th, and the 4th annual Swamp Earth Fest on Saturday, April 26th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Town Hall lawn. And lastly, the annual town election on Tuesday, April 29th from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Swampscott High School.
We thank you for joining us on this episode of Big Blue News.
Tune in next time. Be sure to like and subscribe.
Sayonara.
No.